The US government is thinking of regulating tobacco companies a bit more. They want tobacco companies to provide less nicotine in these products. So how would tobacco companies actually comply with this regulation? Well, there are two ways that people have said that this may be done. It may be either done through genetic modification. I know a lot of people don't like genetically modified things, or removing the nicotine during the manufacturing process somehow. I don't have any clue how either really works, but all we know is that this is a proposed regulation that the US government is working through the bureaucracy at the moment. But what this matters most it really matters a lot to people who invest. Now, some people actually invest in tobacco companies. I know a lot of people like to invest in socially responsible companies that don't do anything bad for the environment, and they don't make products like tobacco and things like that. But a lot of people do buy companies like Altria. In fact, I was a shareholder of Altria like a month ago, but I sold it just because I didn't really feel the need to own a company like this, because I saw better opportunities. But why do people buy stocks like Altria? Altria is actually a dividend king. They have actually been increasing their dividend for 50 years. And this is despite the fact that fewer and fewer Americans are smoking and things like that, are using the products that these companies are selling. Basically, Altria is able to continue to pay a greater and greater dividend for one reason. For one thing, tobacco companies don't really require that much research and development. It's actually a very profitable thing to actually produce. And secondly, they're able to just transfer a lot of their profits to shareholders in the form of dividends. Oh yeah, actually they increase the prices of the products over time. That's another reason why there's a growth in the dividends. They raise the prices and people pay them. That's just as simple as that. Now, I actually would not buy this stock, especially if you are looking, even though the dividend might be safe, nobody wants to buy a stock when there is a cloud of issues going on. I would actually wait for some more bad news to actually happen prior to actually buying this stock. For one thing, I would wait until the regulations are actually final. That's usually a time period when stocks like this may actually have a bottom, and it may start to go up once all of the bad information is in. Once the regulation is clear and people know how much this is going to cost companies like Altria, then it will be time to at least consider buying a stock like this and seeing where things can go from here. But right now, I think that people are going to sell because they don't know how much it's going to cost. They don't know if this may discourage people from actually buying the products in question. It's possible that if you force companies like Altria to provide less nicotine, maybe people won't find it so enticing to use, and then so less people buy it, or they may buy on the black market. We don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty about how the market may react to these regulations. And there's one thing that investors really hate. They absolutely hate uncertainty, and there's nothing more uncertain than the cloud of some new government regulations that may come about. But there's some benefits to the government. There's some things that actually benefit shareholders in the past, at least, with regard to government regulations of companies like Altria. For one thing, there are a really strong ban on advertising for these kind of products. Makes it so that whoever was dominant in the past is very likely to continue to be dominant in the future. That's one reason why the dividends continue to grow. No other company can really compete with Altria because they can't really advertise. They can't use some actor or cartoon character or some enticing kind of media thing to get attention. So as a result, everybody who would want to actually compete, maybe offer a better product, cheaper, better price, they can't. So people only hear about the dominant companies that have been around forever, like Altria. So this regulation, I think, may actually hurt the tobacco company, though, a lot more than the ban on like advertising. For one thing, it may just really result in people saying, hey, this tastes bad and it's not. I just don't really feel like using it, and maybe that's a good thing that people smoke less. But if you're a shareholder, that's not something you want to be buying. You want something where you're able to actually get a positive return on your investment. So I would think twice before buying this. I know that a lot of people if they buy this, they buy it for the dividend, because the dividend is way more than you're going to get on another company. But the dividend is always kind of a risk too, because the dividend was there trying to entice people to buy it too, and then people buy it for that reason. But there's always that cloud that something may happen with some government regulation that may come about and force people to sell at a loss. Today it's down like 7%. On after hours is down more. I would expect in the next few days that Altria will go down even more, just because nobody wants to own this thing while it's a hot potato. A lot of confusion. I have no idea what's going to happen with the regulations. Maybe there's going to be lobbying and maybe it gets watered down. I would not be surprised if a compromise is reached. Maybe the government has like a rule: we're going to have such little nicotine, no one will get addicted to this product ever again. And the tobacco companies, maybe they say, oh, we're going to voluntarily put in less of that, and then that's the compromise. Maybe it's like a voluntary thing. So we'll have to see what happens. I would not buy this stock, so stay out of it for now, and be sure to smash the like button, because you know that by watching these videos you're saving a lot of money and making a lot more money too. So subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
There you go. Hi little doggy. You're a cute little doggy. Look at this cute little doggy here.